Now, once we start joining words together, we're really building speed. So we have one outline, or squiggle, as I like to call it, which represents at least 2 words, possibly more. You remember in the very first lesson, I gave you a snippet of how exciting this can be by showing you the word all and then closing it up to make all over the world. And the fact we know it's over because it's an O, as in over, and this is pictorial representation. In other words, it looks like the globe. So we can do all sorts of things like that. However, let's start simple with words that come together all the time. So we'll start with it and is. Now that was in the dictation last time, and we did it like this. I indicator T, I indicator S. And we congratulated ourselves if we got those indicators in the correct direction, because they're complicated at first. So now if we're going to join those two together, usually, not always, but usually when we're joining two things together, a little piece goes missing. And you may guess that it's that indicator. So it becomes this, it is. So that is also the grouping for it has. Because if I wrote it separately, it would be it, and then H sloped the way the A goes, remember, and has. So when we join those together, that goes missing. So it is and it has is exactly the same outline, but the sentence will tell us which it is. If you don't believe me, it will come to light as we progress. So now let's do another simple one. Let's do it was. So we'd always put the first word in its original position. So IT for it and WS for was. Remembering to put that S inside the curve, it was. And now let's add the word a. So we could, it was a. So one outline, 3 words. Practice them and drill them. And that way, when you meet them in dictation, it's like going at 3 times the speed, or almost 3 times the speed, because it takes you so much longer to do the it on the T line, the was on the line, and then lift the pen and put another A. It's almost quadrupling your speed. So important. We showed you as soon as possible as well. We did as pos. And so we've missed lots out of that, because if we wrote that all separately, it would be as soon as pos. We didn't bother about the ibble. Joining all that together then, we've only got the AS and the PS, and all that bit in the middle goes. It's magic, isn't it, T-line? It's really magic. So let's have a look at other word groups. I'm going to go up here. So I will. Now we don't put babies on the floor, but I, when it means me or I, is a word in its own right. It's no longer a baby like an indicator. It becomes something in its own right. So I put the I in its correct position if it was on its own, and then the will joined on. However, if you wish to put it, there, up there on the T line, and then join the will on, it would still be correct. And now I'm going to add the word be. So the word be on its own, of course, is just a be. Now when I add that to this, I'm going to get rid of this, because if that was a magnetic shape, that is going to go on top of that, and then it's just the be to join on. So I will be. Now if I want to say I will be able to, we're going some here, aren't we now? I will be able to. You remember the full A on its own says able or able to. So whereas if you wrote it on its own, the able or able to would be on the line. When it's part of a group, put it where the last bit ends and close to it, so that your hand's not moving around on the page too much. So now you've got I will be able to. Let's see how many times we can write I will be able to in 10 seconds. I've got the watch. Have a go. Ready? Go. Stop. Right, count up how many times you've written I will be able to. That's 5 words. I bet you've been able to do it at least 6 times. 30. And 6, 10 seconds in a minute. So that's 180 words per minute. And obviously if you've done it more than 6 times, then that's going to go up, that speed's going to go up. Can you see how important it is to know these common words, to be able to join them together with confidence? Because it's the common words that is the key to the speed. So if you've only got limited practice time, concentrate on those common words and those word groupings.